Okay, let's go.
We're always told that success is all about passion, right? About finding that big spark of motivation. But what if that's not really the whole story? What if the real secret is something a lot less glamorous, but way, way more powerful? Today, we are going to dig into the surprising truth about consistency. So first up, let's tackle what I call the motivation myth. We're going to challenge this whole idea of what we think we need to get started and what it actually takes to see things through to the end. Okay, so this really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got motivation. You know the feeling. It's that awesome, exciting spark. It feels great, but it's also a total flake. It comes and goes. And then on the other side, you've got discipline. This is that quiet commitment to just show up, especially on the days you really, really don't feel like it. And this right here, this is how the best of the best think. I mean, just picture any top athlete or a super successful entrepreneur. You really think they wake up every single morning just buzzing with motivation? No way. They show up anyway. Their success isn't built on a good mood. It's built on a rock-solid commitment. This is the big mindset shift. We have to stop waiting to feel like doing something. The second you stop waiting, you're no longer a prisoner to how you feel at any given moment. Nope, you're in the driver's seat. Commitment is a choice, and it's a choice that puts you back in control. Okay, so that all sounds good, but how do we actually do it? Well, it all comes down to the incredible power of small steps. And listen, this isn't about some crazy, grueling effort. It's about really simple, daily actions. You know, we've all fallen into this trap, right? You set this massive goal, you don't see results in a week, and then you just quit. We get discouraged. And in the process, we totally miss out on the magic of compounding. These tiny daily actions, they might feel like nothing in the moment, but you string enough of them together over a year, and the results can be absolutely extraordinary. And look, science actually backs this whole idea up. I'm sure you've heard that myth that it takes 21 days to form a habit, right? Well, sorry to burst that bubble, but it's not really true. A study from the University of London found that it actually takes, on average, 66 days for something new to become automatic. 66. That's more than 2 months of just showing up. So it's not about a quick fix at all. It's about being patient and just repeating the action. I love this analogy. Let's call it the bricklayer's method. Think about it. You're not trying to build a giant wall in one day. That's impossible. Your only job today is to lay one single brick, but to lay it perfectly. That's it. Then tomorrow, you show up and you do it again. And here's the most important part. You keep doing it even when it gets super, super boring. That is how you end up building something that lasts. But, you know, this whole process, it builds more than just habits or skills. It builds something much deeper. It builds trust. And I'm talking about trust in yourself. This really gets to the very core of our confidence. Just think about your own life for a second. Who are the people you really, truly trust? Your best friend, maybe a family member, a coworker? What do they all have in common? I'll bet it's not that they do these big, flashy things once in a while. It's that they're the ones who just show up. They're reliable. You trust them because they're consistent. Okay, now let's turn that question around. The most important relationship you have is the one with yourself. So, can you trust yourself? Do you actually follow through on the promises you make to you? Honestly, the answer to that question changes everything. Because every single time you say, okay, tomorrow I'm waking up early, or this week I'm finally starting that project, and then you don't, it feels like no big deal in the moment, but it is a huge deal. You're literally training your own mind that your word doesn't mean anything. And over time, this creates that little nagging voice in the back of your head, the one that whispers, why even bother? It just slowly chips away at your confidence. But keeping those small promises, that is how you fight back. Every single time you follow through, no matter how small it is, you're gathering evidence. You're building up a case file, like a lawyer, that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are someone who shows up. You're building an identity based on what you do, not just what you say you're going to do. So, okay, if consistency is the key, how on earth do the best people in the world keep it up day after day? Well, they've figured out a secret about the work itself. And trust me, it's probably not what you're thinking. You know that old saying about success being like an iceberg? This is it right here. What we all see is the amazing stuff on top, the best-selling novel, the incredible concert, the championship trophy. But what we don't see is the massive part of the iceberg underwater. The years of quiet, lonely drafts, the thousands of hours practicing mind-numbingly dull scales, the brutal workout on a random Tuesday when nobody's watching. The real work, it's almost always boring.
And that is why discipline is so much more powerful than motivation. See, motivation gets you all hyped up about the shiny part of the iceberg, but it completely abandons you when you're doing the hard, boring work underneath. Discipline, that's what gets you through the invisible stuff. That's where the real magic happens, where mastery is actually built.
All right, this brings us to the final and, honestly, maybe the most important point of all. What do you do in that moment? You know the one I'm talking about, the moment when every single part of you is screaming, just stop, take the easy way out. Here's the massive mental shift you have to make. That feeling, that resistance, the voice that says, I'm too tired, I'll do it tomorrow. That is not a signal to stop. It's the exact opposite. It's a signpost. It's telling you that you are right at the edge of your comfort zone, and that real growth is just on the other side. It's not a wall, it's a door. Think of it like this. Every time you feel that resistance and you push through it anyway, you're doing way more than just getting a task done. You are literally forging your own identity. You're strengthening that part of you that is unbreakable. You're proving to yourself one more time that you are the kind of person who doesn't quit. So after all this, it really just comes down to one question. Not what you're going to do next week or even tomorrow. What about today? Right now. It doesn't have to be some monumental task. It just has to be a start. So what's the one small brick you're going to lay today? What is the one tiny promise you're going to keep to yourself? Because that one small action, repeated day after day, is how you build a life you can be proud of.